Hello, everyone. If you're watching this, hopefully you are a seventh grader interested in applying for BuzzTV for next year for the 2020-2021 school year. And so Mr. Toto and I are going to walk you through the process. So here we are. Hello. So
I,
we're going to get started pretty quick. Mr. Toto, if you would like to start with folks who are interested in applying for on-air positions for next year.
no problem, Mr. Campbell. Uh, Hello, seventh grade students. We're looking for the best of the best. And for this presentation, if you follow everything we want from you, you'll be in the running for the best of the best. But what does it mean to be best of the best? We'll talk about that. But let's talk about the jobs first. There are 16 spots we are looking for. On average, Mr. Campbell and I, out of the 400 students in seventh grade, we get close to 100 applications. So, or at least 100 kids that are interested. How do we get down to the 16? Well, we'll talk about that as we go on, but here's what we're looking for. Let's say you're going for on air. Out of the 16 spots, that's 10 of them. And as on air, we are looking for these kind of jobs. We're looking for people that can do school news, world news, weather, sports, and entertainment. You've all seen our show before. You know the format. School news, quite simply, is the news of the school. What we get when we talk about student council as a meeting, or it's band course orchestra day, or what's for lunch. We, meaning Mr. Campbell and I, will provide that for you. You don't have to write that. You have to edit that. You don't have to write that. But the others, you're on your own to write. World news is simply local and world news stories, stories that are not part of the school lexicon. You could talk about something that's going on in Canada or something that's going on in Allentown, but it doesn't necessarily have to be about Lorman Country Middle School. And you are on your own to come up with that. So you have a little bit of homework to do when it comes to world news. You also have homework when it comes to the others. Weather is your job is to tell us and the school what the weather's going to be like today, tomorrow, and possibly the next day. Remember what you do. You decide pretty much how the kids should dress. I mean, if you're going to tell the kids it's going to be 80 degrees outside, kids probably not going to wear a winter coat to school. So it's a pretty important job. Sports, you talk about not only local sports, not only national sports like the NFL and baseball, you talk about school sports. You tell us when the football game is. You tell us when the field hockey game is. You also tell us about who makes the winning shot in the basketball game. Entertainment, you are talking to, your market is kids between the ages of 11 and 14. So 11, 12, 13, and 14. Your job for entertainment is not to talk to a guy like me. Talk to a kid. What do they want to hear about? Do they want to hear about the latest video games? Do they want to hear about the latest music, the latest movies, the latest comic books? Anything that deals with entertainment, that is your job. So for world news, weather, sports, and entertainment, you are on your own to come up with those stories. Mr. Campbell, would you like to talk to them about tech?
I would love to talk to them about tech. So some of you might be interested in on air. Some of you might be interested more in applying to be on our tech staff. And truthfully, you can apply for both. You won't, no one would get selected for both, but if you have interests in both, you can put in 2 applications, one for each staff. Folks on tech staff, we are looking to hire 6 students to fill 6 positions, and it's a 6-day cycle, so everyone rotates. Everyone gets to work on every piece of equipment. We are looking for folks who are interested in making movies, both informative segments as well as entertaining segments. We're looking for folks who have some interest, ability, etc. in movie editing. We need to sharpen your editing skills. We also want folks who are very good with their camera work. Do you have a steady hand? Do you have an eye for space? Do you have an eye for lighting? Do you have an eye for background, colors, etc.? Okay. Then we also have folks, we're going to need folks to do audio work. So are you good with sound, fading in and out, understanding levels, understanding consistent levels, things like that. And then overall, putting on a production. Every day we put on an 8-minute show. So the tech staff are the ones that make the magic happen sort of behind the scenes. Mr. Toto, there are a few things that all of our students all of our staff is responsible for. Do you want to talk about those for a moment?
No problem, Mr. Campbell. The 16 of you that will be hired, you are responsible for thousands of dollars of equipment. Mr. Campbell is going to also bring this up also because it's so important. The thing that we're looking for is, out of those 16 kids, we're looking for the best of the best. You don't necessarily have to be a straight A student, but we're looking for like people that are super responsible, because not that we leave you alone, because Mr. Campbell and I are always in the area, but that's clearly what we mean, in the area. We're not going to be like hovering over you. So there are moments where you're in the studio pretty much by yourself or with your fellow Buzz TVers, and we don't need equipment broken. We just got brand new equipment last year, and I don't know the exact amount, but it's a lot more than I have in my wallet right now. It is very expensive equipment. So we need people that are going to take care of this stuff. So we need people that are going to work together as a team, great behavior, and there's a few jobs you're going to have to do while we meet together for ninth period. Because what Buzz TV is it's not just your homeroom, it's also where you spend ninth period. Now, what do you do ninth period? You certainly just don't come down to Mr. Campbell's room or the Buzz TV room and stare at the wall for 40 minutes. No, we need you to do something. We need you to do things because you are hired for a job. What does that job entail? Ninth period is all about getting the show ready for the next day or the days coming up. So Mr. Campbell and I will give you the script because you don't have access to the script until we give it to you. Your job is to edit it. Your job is to look at that script and divide it up between the 2 or 3 or 4 people that are going to be on the show the next day. And you're going to make the script sound like a Lower Macungie middle schooler is editing it, reading it, and delivering it, because you are. For example, this script is written by adults, and sometimes adults say things like this. Come to the football game this weekend at EHS Stadium. Not one kid says EHS. We all say, come to the football game at the high school. You're going to turn the script to make it sound like you, sound like you're talking to a friend. Also, ninth period is when you're going to create those 2-minute segments we keep at the very, very end of the show. You've all seen them before, from Turtle Man to locker races to shoelace races to Mr. Roller. You've seen these. Well, this is when they get created. And that's where you have a lot of freedom. You are going to be creating a segment. We obviously have to approve that segment. We'll talk to you about the process that entails. But the one thing I want to talk to you about is kids in Lower Macungie Middle School are not allowed to have their phones out. But over the years, Buzz TV has been granted that waiver. Let me explain. Ninth period and only ninth period is when you have your phone out, because that is how the kids will film those segments. You're breaking your phone out. You're filming in front of the locker. Now, there's rules that go into that. We don't want anybody being filmed that doesn't want to be filmed. And obviously, the music you select needs to be school appropriate. All those things we will definitely talk about. But that's your job, ninth period. In other words, you never come in ninth period and say, I have nothing to do. There's always something to do. We're looking for the best of the best. And Mr. Campbell, would you like to talk to them about the logistics and the rules of Buzz TV?
I sure would. So looking forward, you're thinking of applying, you're thinking of auditioning, you're thinking of interviewing. So before you do that, what are you getting into? So if you are hired for Buzz TV for next year, there are some logistics and rules. First of all, Buzz TV becomes your homeroom. Your homeroom will be room 408, and that's where you come every morning. Your lockers are on the 6th grade floor, which actually has its positives to it. Buzz TV is also your ninth period. You will have that every day. Can you still be in band, chorus, or orchestra? Yes. However, the expectation overall is that otherwise, Buzz TV is your ninth period responsibility, duty, place to be, things to do. We do expect you to sign in and out. Okay, we don't take attendance like your homeroom teachers normally do, so you need to know, are you responsible enough to fill out that sign-in sheet? As Mr. Toto mentioned, there's a lot of technology available for all of you to use, so are you responsible with that? Your grades and your schoolwork need to stay up. Okay, it's not that you have to be a straight A student per se, but we know who you are before you get hired, so that needs to maintain. Same is true for citizenship. Okay, we can't have students put on air that are not doing their schoolwork and or not being a good citizen of the school, to the teachers, and to one another. On a somewhat regular basis, we will have meetings during ninth period just to catch up, make sure everyone's doing what they need to be doing, everybody's okay. And also, as Mr. Toto said, everybody's involved in segment creation or bit creation. Everyone is involved in script editing. And if you have other activities, you need to be communicative with Mr. Toto and I about the reality of how much time that is. Because BuzzTV is a big time commitment. And if you can't commit to it, then just don't apply in the first place. I mean, I hate to sound like that, but we would need you. We would need you there. Mr. Toto, do you want to talk about what we're looking for students that apply for on-air?
Just no problem. Just want to back up a little bit. When Mr. Campbell said you don't have to be a straight A student, he's exactly correct. But when it comes to like work ethic, we're really looking for people with top-notch work ethic. Because if you're the type of kid that doesn't do your homework or doesn't do your work, and we ask you to do something, you may not do it because you don't have that as work ethic. We're looking for people that work hard. Now, BuzzTV is a lot of fun, but we do work hard. Now, here's what goes into what we're looking for as far as on-air people. You need to be calm, especially if problems arise. There will be issues. They're unforeseen. It is a live show. We don't want people that panic. We need people that listen to directions. That is so imperative. If Mr. Campbell and I ask you to do something, it really is no question. You have to do it. Especially if Mr. Campbell walks up to you and says, I need a commercial film for the play. And you're like, no, I don't feel like doing that. No, the answer is, I will do that. When do you want it done? We're looking for your volume when you try out for BuzzTV. We don't want somebody to speak like this. We want somebody that can project their voice, because we want to know that you can talk to the back of the room. We're looking for how you enunciate, I'm going to use a bad word here, pronunciate. No, we're looking for how you pronounce the words. So we're looking for how you have, how you say the words. Oh, I just said the word pronunciation. Isn't that great, Mr. Campbell?
That's great.
Isn't that wonderful? Eye contact. Eye contact is huge. I mean, if you could see me right now, if I'm looking down, you're seeing the top of my head. That's not great eye contact. Think about when your teachers talk to you. They give proper eye contact, proper volume, and they definitely know how to speak and very clear when they talk. And we're looking for posture. I'm going to model that right now. We're looking for good posture. If you ever watch an old BuzzTV show, which, by the way, you can find that on our YouTube channel, look at how our kids sit. They sit straight up, shoulders back. Those are the kind of things that we are looking for. And give a positive delivery. I mean, to be honest with you, we're looking for kids that are happy, that make other kids happy, that when they go on air, they're not going to be what is called monotone, where they speak like this and they're really upset. In other words, they want to get you going in the morning. So we're looking for the volume, the eye contact, the posture, the delivery, if you're calm, listen directions. And how do you pronounce these words? Mr. Campbell, anything else to add?
No, I'll go on to tech staff.
Please.
Okay. So what are we looking for folks who are on tech staff? We're looking if you have experience that might not make or break you, but it would certainly be helpful. Do you understand technological terminology? Are you confident in yourself and your speed of learning? Are you creative? And can you think on your feet? Okay, so what happens next? There are some due dates coming up. If you are interested, applications for both on-air and tech staff are due Sunday, April 12th. On-air videos due Friday, April 17th. Tech interview videos due Wednesday, April 2nd. There are instructions for those on the BuzzTV Google Classroom. And then if you are chosen for a second round, those have some other due dates. And then our new staff will be posted by Thursday, May 7th. So at this point, we will say good luck. There will be a question and answer on the Google Meet, which will get posted on the BuzzTV Google Classroom. And that will be held Tuesday at 1:30. So after you've watched this, if you have questions, feel free to log on. We'll both be on for half an hour. Some of our current staff will be on to answer your questions. So Mr. Toto, we got 15 seconds. Anything left to say?
I want to see all of you this Tuesday in the Google Meet. So, Mr. Campbell, we're going to get that up. We're going to see these kids.
Yep, sounds good.
Good luck.
All right.